You're live. Morning, everyone. Welcome to our monthly meeting. So it's April 23rd, 2021. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 9:25. Al, would you like to do roll call, Alan?
Yes, Mr. Chair, District 1. Here. District 2, I believe is on the way, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
District 3.
Here.
And I'm here, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, we have a quorum, Miigwech. Next up is review and approval of the agenda. Our agenda today is kind of, we have updates, of course, from the council. I know the elders are not doing it this month. The programs are not doing it this month, but we do have one community council that's going to report in after the council. And then we have some old business, and then we have some new business, which for the top four here are donation requests for a variety of different things. And of course, we have the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe enrollment data request form. Then also, we're going to talk about some hemp. And then we're going to, and Lenny asked a question, Alan, if you don't mind, of putting the 2005 constitutional amendment. Do you want it on the, or can we move it to executive? Do you want to talk about it in the meeting, or you want to wait till after? Al?
No, that's fine. Under executive is okay.
Yeah, it'll be under legal.
I just seen something come out from the
Legal department.
MCT there yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Miigwech. And I know in executive, we have a couple guests too, so, but,
We had a long consent agenda too.
and we have a really long consent agenda, so I know we have
Goodness, it's one motion.
I got through it.
we have a lot of signature requests for the last couple of weeks, so especially with a lot of, I gotta send a lot of diplomas, so. But okay, motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Annie, second by Alan, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Next up is a review and approval of the meeting minutes for 3/11/21. Not much in there, so. Well, also I mentioned too, we have a few guests here. We have some elders from Pine Point area that joined us too today, so. They'll be giving an update today along with Pine Point and heading to some stuff for Pine Point, so.
Mr. Chair, the minutes look good. If possible, under the home health vaccines. I know I had a request from that group there last week that we could go and maybe just cover that in executive. Otherwise, minutes look good to me. I'll move to approve, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion by Alan to approve the meeting minutes for 3/19/21. Get a second?
Second.
Second by Annie.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We good. All right, that brings us to the council reports, and, you know, the chairman's first, and I guess I have a little report to talk about is, you know, one of the things that, you know, yesterday I attended the drug task force, and, you know, we had a lot of programs, we had a lot of people that attended, especially what I was really impressed with was with a lot of the community members and community council members that attended. You know, it was just really good to see that we're all trying to combat this, and, you know, this opioid. It was just a good feeling to be there to support them and also support the programs and to support the communities. I know that we really had a bad run there for a bit, and I know that we were, as council, we were all you know, we were all trying to do what we can to try to get everyone out there to help, and it was just a wave that just came through us, and it took a few of our young people. So, you know, the prayers were there, and I know everyone's heart was in that meeting. So it was good. It was a very good meeting. So next up, I want to talk about is the EPA. We had a consultation with the EPA about the impaired waters, the Minnesota impaired waters. And there again, it was something about, you know, the EPA kind of came down on the state of Minnesota about the MPCA, which is Minnesota Pollution Agency, was not recognizing the tribal nations' request to put waters into the impaired list. So we were being denied these requests, and the EPA came down, Region 5 came down and said that Minnesota has to work with the tribe. So, and we're still in that consultation phase with EPA. I know Lenny's working on some comments for us to submit them for all 11 nations to get those submitted to the Region 5 EPA. So that's going good. I know the other thing that we're really working hard on is the ARP, even though there hasn't been no formulary yet that's coming down to us, but us and the council and the programs, you know, we're all gearing up for that, and we're trying to plan as much as possible to how we're going to set aside and budget this new round of funding that's coming to our nation. So, I mean, that's about all I have, keeping it short and sweet this month. And of course, I appreciate everyone that's, you know, that emails me and text messages me and messages me. You know, I do what I can to help everyone that I can. So I want to say miigwech and thank you. Al, you going to talk about your report?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, thank you. I did submit my written report here. You may have it in front of you. I believe Maria was going to print it out for everyone.
Yep.
And it will be uploaded to the website as usual. On page 4, under General Fund, fiscal year 2021, quarter 2, Mr. Chair, for government activities, overall year to date from October 1, 2020 to March 31, 2021, the second quarter of fiscal year 2021 combined revenue was $119.4 million, and expenditures were $62.8 million. On March 31st, 2021, cash on hand was $81.6 million. However, $80.9 million is considered other governmental funds. $49.2 million of these funds belonged to behavioral health, while the general fund was $692,291. Collective expenditures during this period were $62.8 million. The governmental funds was $56.8 million, and the general fund was $6 million. These numbers are unaudited and they're preliminary and are subject to change as the numbers are finalized. Moving along to the next page here, Mr. Chair, under special revenue and gaming, to the Shooting Star for our gaming, under page 6, consolidated revenue from Monoman, Bagley, and all of the gaming revenue for the second fiscal quarter ended March 31 was $23.7 million. Consolidated expenses for the second quarter were $17.4 million. Consolidated net income for the quarter was $6.3 million. Monoman is at $5.7 million and Bagley is at $642,000. Budget through the second fiscal quarter was $35.1 million in revenue and $35.5 million in expenses for a budgeted net loss of $444,000 for the quarter. However, fiscal year to date revenue was $7.2 million higher than budget, while expenses were $2.4 million lower than budget, resulting in net income being $9.6 million higher than budget So we had a $10 million swing, Mr. Chair, in the positive direction.
Oh, very good.
The Bagley Casino. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a great team working for us. So we, in other words, we were estimating we'd lose $1 million by this point, but we've actually made $10 million. The Bagley Casino fiscal year, the second fiscal quarter ended March 31, earned $4.3 million in revenue with expenditures of $3.5. The casino has a net income year to date of $810,000. The casino cash on hand, you'll be pleased to hear, Mr. Chairman, on March 31 was $43.1 million. The cash on hand at the close of last fiscal year, September 30th, 2020, was $28.8 million. After Shooting Star Casino capital improvement projects and CARES Act transfers from White Earth RBC, the cash has increased by $14.3 million. And despite a substantial reduction in revenue versus prior years, the Shooting Star net income is running ahead of prior years due to reduction in expenses directly tied to revenue and other expense controls. Again, Mr. Chair, these are unaudited preliminary numbers. They're subject to changes and numbers are finalized. So we are having a very strong year here, Mr. Chair. I think our recovery is coming along. Certainly we're not out of it just yet, but we're looking very strong. Moving along, Mr. Chair, to page 7. I did ask the EOC, Emergency Operations Center, to present a closeout report of their finances. I don't know if they're there today or not. If we can get them there, Lori, it'd be nice to have that on hand. Also, at the end of next month, Mr. Chair, I am requesting that I will be submitting a closeout report as far as we can for the CARES Act and an introduction and overview of the American Rescue Plan that you had referenced. And for the TEC, I know Mr. Feinday is going to cover the 2005 amendments, and I see that cannabis is also on the agenda, so I'll just go right by those.
Okay.
For page 8, the highlights, I'll just read the bullets here. We're still continuing CARES Act qualified expenditures. We're taking a look at the congressional action on CARES Act funds. We're taking a look at the American Rescue Plan, as you said. We're also processing coronavirus relief. Myself, and Raymond, we also went out to Colorado to research hemp industry regulations and business applications. And also we're taking a look at research in medical marijuana industry regulations and business applications. That's all I have, Mr. Chair, pending your questions.
Miigwech. Any council members have any questions for the financial report? Motion to approve his report. Motion by Kathy, second by Raymond. All in favor?
Aye.
Yep. Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just as an addendum to that, we did process the tax agreement amendment with the state of Minnesota for the Wayfair amendment. If you remember, that's the one for the online sales. So that we're getting a share of those taxes. And just this week, we finally received a deposit of about $600,000. So that's extra revenue.
Miigwech.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Al. All right, district reps. District 1, you have a report?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chair. I will keep it short too also. And what I'd like to say is I'm sure glad that youth come up in our opioid meeting there yesterday. That youth are struggling in these schools with prejudice going on, and a lot are beginning to drop out of these public schools because of that. So I'm glad that came up at that opioid meeting yesterday, and that's something that we should be looking at, because I have been meeting with one of the school board members and the Lutheran churches there in Bagley to see what we can do to remedy the prejudice that takes place in school. It's got a number of reasons why it's there, which came out yesterday, which I was very glad to hear. But also our powwow is coming up here at the end of this month. Hope to see everybody there, or in May, end of May. And then just, getting a lot of compliments on our day labor workers. They were up in Race Lake there. they had a cleanup day up in Rice Lake there, and boy, they did a good job up there. They got a lot of stuff cleaned up in the yards, and Bev Karsten had put that on, and she asked for day labor workers, and she had a good contention that day labor workers. So, but that's all for my report, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Kathy, you want to say a few words?
Nothing really is happening in District 2. Same thing with the place for funerals. And I'd like to do something about that. I know that a lot of people are waiting to use the complex. So we're gonna have to work that out somehow. Other than that, I don't think I really want to give any more.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Annie, you want to say a few words?
Yes, I've been working with the drug task force. I didn't attend the meeting yesterday, but I kind of talked to Mike LaRock about what, I wanted him to focus on. I'm working with Adam Fairbanks. Well, we've been having some conversation on some tiny homes. We'd be starting out in White Earth. I'm looking at elders and our single people if possible, because our single people don't have nothing right now. But there would be strict rules for that. But that's just, conversation right now. The community cleanup is coming up, and I'd like to, encourage everybody to help in some way, our staff, everybody. I'm gonna be out there, except for on May 7th, I will be gone. But otherwise I plan to be out in each community, helping. It's fun. And what else was there? The Sacred Hoop will be in Nadawash tonight. Everybody is welcome. Yep, so if you wanna attend, bring your tobacco, your pipe, your drums, whatever, and I know tomorrow in Pine Point, they're having a parade for.
Parade, and it'll be honoring, I think we're doing cleanup too tomorrow.
Okay.
Pine Point.
Pine Point, yeah, and then we've got, I would really encourage, if possible, I'll talk to Mike LaRock about it more, to get our police officers out there on cleanup too, just to, get in the communities. And I know they're gonna attend tomorrow and help cook and stuff, but it would be great to have them out in the communities, and, get to know our people. I know there's a lot going on right now. I have 2 deaths in my area right now. One was a young lady and I got an elder. So it's, I really had a tough day yesterday, but, we're gonna move forward, and I appreciate everybody that supports me in our council. It's not easy work, but we are all working together and we're trying to move forward. Miigwech.
Oh, Miigwech.
Mr. Chairman, just to follow up on one point Annie raised, is that on May 12th, we're going to have a call with DHS and hopefully CMS to follow up on the indoor village for the tiny homes project down in the Twin Cities, and making sure that we have everything lined up to ensure that that's all set up and we have it in the AFA and we're able to provide those services under and bill for those services. So we're moving forward on that discussion, and it'll be good.
Which, I guess one thing, that I didn't really touch on my report is we did have an initial call with the state of Minnesota, DNR, Commissioner Sarah Strawman, about getting our White Earth State Forest back. And that was a very positive call. And I think that we're starting that good path of hopefully getting our ancestral lands back, and I know we had a good conversation with the 4 townships. I know we have a good group on that team, and, we're looking at, the council here is looking at trying to get all of our land back, and it's a good thing for us. So it's one thing I wanted to touch on too. I forgot that in my report, but Miigwech, thank you.
And that'll be a long process.
What's that, Ray?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think I'll just follow up on what District Representative Jackson said there, that you know, at our opioid meeting, that was one of the main things that came up also, is to get our police officers out into the villages so that they could meet our people, you know, because a lot of complaints come up on our police department there at our opioid meeting in Rice Lake. It was a very good one. I'm sure all the other ones were also, but just to follow up on what Representative Manny Jackson said there, that yes, that we do need our police forces out in these communities to get to know our people, and so that's a good thing there, Annie, and I appreciate that. Thanks.
Be good.
Just one more thing, Mr. Chair. We'll be having our community meeting on May 3rd.
Okay.
For the opioid and stuff. So we welcome everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you. Next up, we have a couple elders here that wanted to, Sandy, do you want to say a few words or talk about the elders, or?
You wanna go first?
Well, you can come sit up at the table here and pull that chair up there.
I came representing Keto Silk, couldn't be here today. She had a prior commitment, so she asked me to sit in. The elders have got a lot of issues with different things, and she asked me to talk about a few of them. One of the biggest things was for the whole reservation. The elders have been going to Shooting Star Casino for Elders Day, and we don't always go. You can go any day of the month. And when we go up there, we've been having a lot of mistreatment at the Elders Shooting Star Casino, not getting comms and being disrespected by non-tribal employees when they come up for Elders Day.
Monday's meeting.
And we were wondering if we could have something done about that, or.
Yeah, we're gonna meet on Monday, so we'll bring that up, Sam.
Alrighty. And then you talked about the opioid problem. A lot of the elders are concerned about this too, because things are, it's just, the problem we have our fire department right in Pine Point and our rescue service, and they've been out 2 or 3 times a night on opioid calls, overdose calls. And what we're worried is one of these times they're gonna be out on one of those calls and some elder's gonna need services. And we are having worries about that. The elders will be going overlooked while someone is being treated for a overdose. The next issue, the garbage boxes that were made for elders. White Earth got theirs finished, but half the elders or more did not get their boxes. They went to young people instead. They just left them at the community center. There's still some there. The elders had no way of getting them. Is there a way we could get them to deliver them?
Yeah, we'll coordinate with Bernie.
And Pine Point, we had 110 pallets delivered 2.5 to 3 weeks ago on them out there, and nothing's been done with them, and they're slowly disappearing. I was promised by I think I talked to you, Annie, and you referred me to Sandy St. Clair, and when I asked her, and she said, yeah, we'll be out there this week. That was on Monday. Well, it's Friday. I don't know. She's got a bigger calendar than I do, that's got more than 5 days in a week or whatever.
Yeah.
That's our day labor.
Yeah,
So,
that's our day labor.
yeah, that's who's been doing them. And I know like some of the ones in White Earth were stolen. So that's probably why they ended up at young people's houses. But I know that they're working with the police on that too. So, that's something that.
Yeah, we'll look into that. Lori will look into it, Sam.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've got pictures. I had to take pictures because I caught a couple of young people taking the pallets out in Pine Point on Wednesday when we had food shelves out there. And the next issue is communication. Every meeting we go to, we're working on this new elders commission and we bring up no communication. We have no communication. Wednesday, I had a food shelf out in Pine Point. I want to thank our new elder advocate, Lisa Knudsen. She's been out to Pine Point almost every week since she's been on there, and she meets with the elders. And she brought up word on Wednesday when we were there putting food out and having that. I volunteer for that food shelf. I started at 9 o'clock. I didn't leave till 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon because she brought it. We didn't know it down there. The word came from Nadawash or Rice Lake that they were delivering meals or these boxes, food boxes to all the reservations. That's the communication I'm talking about. We get it at the last minute, and then this stuff was all refrigerated
Yeah.
stuff. And if it'd been a lot warmer, we'd have lost half of it because there was no way to get it. We didn't have any planning for it because we didn't know about it. And my question would be, how to get it out to them? How we can get the communication to the people before it happens, not as it's happening or after the fact.
I think Lori will look at emails who's out in Pine Point, and we can get to Edie or get it to someone where she can notify the elders or the community council out there yourself or the elders council that we can get some.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
So if you guys want to add your emails to this, they'll be glad to add your
Yeah,
emails.
I just want to say the same thing happens to the people at the congregate.
Yeah.
We never hear what community council is doing. They brought the food to us way late, and there weren't very many people there, and those that, there were some people that just said, no, I don't want any. And so there was like 12 boxes of food there. And I was running around like a crazy person trying to call everybody that I could think of to come and deliver some food to some elder in the community. And Tito came, thank goodness, and she got like 6 boxes and took it and delivered that. I mean, otherwise it was just gonna spoil.
Mr. Chair, may I make a recommendation? I would recommend to all community councils to reserve a seat on their council for our elders. And then that way our elders could sit on the community council and then bring the information back to the elders.
They
council.
do have, but those elders do not communicate with us. Those are just picked from the community council.
yep, they pick
That,
them because
that
most of them,
family or whatever that runs that community council, they
most,
will pick an elder that, and they never communicate.
Well, that'd be thing we can
We're
reach
just
out to.
orphans over there.
We can reach out to Roman.
Mr. Chair, can I,
Yes.
Tuesday night, we just had that community council meeting in White Earth, and they are, one resigned off the board. So they are gonna be putting out for nominations for new council. They need 3 at large, and they're looking for a secretary treasurer. They're gonna do nominations for 2 weeks, and then they're gonna have a drive-up election. So if you're interested in being on the White Earth Community Council, watch for them nominations. And that's another thing, we have to look at the boundaries of these community councils, because right now, White Earth covers Ogama and almost to Waban. Waban only does in town. We donated to the Ogama Community Council, and they didn't even serve our native people. I mean, they left out dream catchers. Some native people online had said that they didn't receive nothing. So it's like, and then when called, they said, we only do in town for Ogama. So White Earth is really being bombarded because they've got this whole big area, and I'm sure Nadawash and Rice Lake are the same, but we have to figure out them boundaries. And if Callaway I'm going to reach out to Mr. Roy again, because he wanted to start a community council in Callaway. So I think Dustin, his name is. So I'm going to reach out to him and try to get that one going, because right now they have nobody representing them. But it's so if people want to be involved in the community council, get your nominations in for White Earth and we can get that voted on. But they are planning to do a lot of stuff. So, that's something. And I told them, we have to get into these elders too. I said, maybe just go play bingo one night or something, I don't know, but you got to keep them up to date. So, that is going to be happening, and so I've been attending that meeting for just in White Earth. I didn't get out to Pine Point's council meeting yet.
on that issue there, our elders council will be having our first open meeting on May 4th next week. I believe it's a Tuesday at Congregate. So anyone that wants to show up, and we would like to, have someone from the RTC represented. And then you talked about bingo. We talked about the money for the bus and stuff. That, right now, our council has donated money for the EMP program. We're working with them to have bingo in each community 1 day a month for elders. And for play like maybe 10 bingo games of bingo, and we've donated prizes and stuff and bought prizes. So we are using that money that we get as much as we can. And I've been delivering food from Pine Point to White Earth, what, for a year, you know?
Yeah.
Most of the time during COVID, and we've been putting gas in the bus. Our council's been putting gas in the bus for me to bring that food up to White Earth every Wednesday.
Yep, that's a good thing. Be good, Sam.
Thank you.
That's your report. Thank you, Sam.
Yep. Anything else you want to say, John?
No, I'm fine.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the elders for showing up today, and, it's always good to hear from them and, and hear their concerns and, how we can best solve it and how we can, get the communication better, improve that. So I appreciate you guys coming today. So be good. Is G-Pon?
I emailed him the call number.
What's
I don't have his phone number.
Pine Point? Are you on the line? You know what he wanted to talk about?
No, all Mia said was just to highlight Pine Point that they were gonna update. me.
Okay. Well, if Pine Point gets on the line, just let me know when you get on. We'll give you some time. Be good. Next up, we have new business. There we have some donation requests for,
She sent the written report.
IHS.
Is she on the- she should be.
She's flying back from vacation. She just.
how
sent
come
me
Laura
her
the
report.
Grove don't get on here?
Hello.
Hey, there you are. Oh,
Yeah, I've been watching you guys. Hey, I think Sam and them pretty much covered everything that's going on in Pine Point, but our council has, like the parade tomorrow is the Earth Day parade. They're bringing up puppets, giant sized puppets. Bree is kind of in charge of that. She said about 6 or 7 of them. What was the one, the butterfly? She said a big jingle dress dancer. Just puppets like that. And they're gonna have it. We're gonna start at the old school, go through the old project, and come back to the old school, and then have a little, the police. They did ask police, and I'm glad they're gonna show up and cook and stuff. So they, like you guys said, they need to familiarize themselves with, the people of Pine Point and just be visible to them and let them know what they look like. I guess, we see black and white cars go through the village, but, nobody knows faces or anything like that or names. What else is going on? Our council, we've been talking about, waiting for the COVID thing to come to, get better, I guess. Becker County is actually going up is what we've been told and so on. So we're kind of worried about that still. So we're not really planning any big events, I guess. We're kind of hoping that the weather cooperates sooner or later where we can have some outside events, and I think that's what we're waiting for as far as, to have more room. Really, we don't want to chance having indoor events and so on too. So, I was at a meeting yesterday, and our public health program has a boggart that they're bringing out today to the old schools. So that'd be good as far as, some of the funerals we've been having out here and so on too. And like Annie said, it's just sad. Sorry to hear about the deaths up there, Annie, and so on. So, it's the saddest thing ever. I think, we're losing people, young people, elders too, It's just, yeah, we need to do something, eh? I don't know what that is, and we've been talking about it for years and years and stuff, and trying to figure it out, and you know, I mean, one day, hopefully, you know, people start, I mean, there are people starting to sober up and come back to us as far as, you know, recovering and so on, and then straightening their lifestyle and so on too. So that's a good time, I guess. You know, people are finally tired of it. What else we're gonna do? We're like I said, we're waiting to get outside. Our powwow committee has met once. We're still kind of undecided, I guess, as far as if we're gonna have it or not. You know, we're worried about social distancing, cleaning, food distribution, how we handle food at the stands and so on. You know, just things like that. I mean, we're still worried about COVID. Let's just put it that way. So, as far as the elders out in Pine Point, you know, our council has taken I'm just gonna say it, put it step back and watch, because, you know, Sam and Tito, you know, are the elder council on White Earth, and our Pine Point elders are a whole different organization, really. So their communication is vital as far as between them two, really. I mean, we got I don't want to say all of us are elders on the council, really. So, but we got a representative on the Pine Point Council already on our community council too. So I mean, that's something where, you know, they got to reach out to each other. As far as the communication part, you know, I'm old school. I don't do Facebook, so, you know, I have no idea. You know, sometimes I'm like everybody else. You know, I hear about it at the last minute too, and so on, that because I don't do Facebook. So there's got to be, you know, some other way to get it out to elders, whether we used to deliver flyers all the time, you know, hang them up at the store or up at the post office, at the elder center, you know, for some of the ones that don't get out of their houses, you know, then they need to probably deliver it with their food, maybe. So some ideas like that to get it out to them. That's pretty much all I got to say. Any questions?
Gee, could I ask you, you discussed that, I'm just like you, most of the elders aren't on Facebook. We have to come up with a different way to get this message out to the elders. Right now, we're working with the EMP program to get our information out, rather than, you know, you put it on a radio station. A lot of them don't listen to the radio station. A lot of them aren't on Facebook. If we could get, you know, get you guys to go through I know I see you at the Elder Center eating lunch and stuff. If, you know, like the problem we had with distributing that food yesterday, you know, we could have lost a lot of that food because it got so warm and stuff. You guys took and left it outside the night before because it was cool enough, but we didn't know about that till Lisa Knutson brought it down and Lynn Tibbetts brought the information down to us on Wednesday. So by the time we got it, and then, you know, by the time I heard about it, I met you on the road bringing the food down there and stuff. So do we need to?
Yep. You know, me and you are in the same boat. I heard about it Tuesday night, and just got asked to go get it and bring it down to Pine Point. You know, I assumed there was somebody that was going to meet us there and distribute it. And we did give out half of it on Wednesday, but we had 2 truckloads. So half of it went out on Wednesday. and Thursday, you know, one of the things that, you know, we knew the weather wasn't going to cooperate as far as trying to, you know, keep our milk cold and so on, that we were going to try to put it inside our fridge inside the building. It's big enough to probably hold, you know, I think we had like 40 or 50 gallons of milk still. So we're going to go over, you know, probably about noon and put that all in there. But you know, I got back here about noon and they said that, you know, most of it was gone already. So that was good news, I guess.
Yep, I put about 30.
And like you said, you know, we need to try to communicate better or let people know better as far as the elders. You know, like I said, whether we print up posters and, you know, once they deliver them to the elders, the meal delivery list and, you know, put them in there with their meals and so on too. So, I mean, that's kind of the best way I think, but.
Right. You have about 36 gallons of milk in the coolers at the community center over there. We put in there last night off the truck before John took it. So if you guys could use that, we asked, Mrs. Robbins, John Pete's wife, if she said, we put the milk in that refrigerator and maybe we could use it. You guys are having a meal tomorrow after the parade. Just a light meal. If you guys want to give the milk out for youth, you must have a couple hundred cups inside that center too. If we could use those cups instead of giving pop or something to the youth and elders, give them glasses of milk. That would be a suggestion I would make on that milk.
Okay, that sounds good. You know, I don't believe we're giving out pop. We're trying to get, you know, healthier too, as far as we're giving out, donated, you know, water jugs. We're gonna fill them up with water and give them out, I mean, milk. We can fill milk up to and see if, you know, people will take them. I'm not a milk drinker myself, so, you know, hopefully there is some out there. You know, we did give out most of them, you know, try to track down some milk drinkers, you know, give them a couple gallons anyway. So, I mean, I'm like you, I don't like to waste food. I mean, we would have took care of that one way or the other yesterday. So, but yeah, we'll give away some milk tomorrow, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Jeep.
All right, Jeep Miigwech, thank you. Thanks for the update.
Take it easy.
All right. Thanks, guys. Next up, we have some donation. Who's that? We have some donation requests in the new business. The first one is, thank you, Sam. The next one is the donation request for the RN Single Act of Heroism. And that was request for was that a Rice Lake?
Yeah, sorry.
Rena Nealon's request. Ray, you want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, we were kind of getting hammered there, but I know we had a blanket dance at the call there and waiters for that. But they said that, you know, our own community council had a plaque made and given to the grandmother about that. And they were saying, why doesn't the tribal council, you know, acknowledge that? But I don't think what they don't know is that some of us council members are going out to Boston to actually see the award be given. And I'm also helping the family and trying to get out there. They want to take as many family members as they can because they're allowed up to 30 people out there. But I don't think they're going to be taking that many. But all it is a plaque to that we can give out at our powwow in Rice Lake. And I'm asking if any other council members could be there that day, namely you, Mr. Chair, if you could, to assist us in giving out that plaque to the family and honor dance. That's what that's about.
Miigwech, Ray. Okay, so motion to approve the donation request for Rena's, motion by Raymond, second by Annie, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, can you call me back, the executive? They want to get this 1855 meeting started and they're waiting on me because I'm the only officer here.
Okay, so are you an aye? Are you and Ellen?
Huh?
Are you an aye on?
Yeah,
on the
aye.
Okay, thanks, guys. All right.
All right, yeah, just call me when it's executive though, and I'll get back on, all right?
Mr. Chair, was there a specific amount?
Yeah, how much was there?
Ray,
Yeah,
how much was Raina Nealon's family requesting to go to Boston?
they don't know yet. I haven't, they're gonna get me a thing. But it ain't until in, September or, yeah, sometime in September. So they are doing fundraising and, they said after they get done with fundraising and stuff, then they'll see what they got. But what they told me is that the grandmother and one of the ones are actually got round trip tickets out and back, but some of the other family members don't. So they are trying to find vehicles or rent vehicles to get people out there. So I don't know what it's going to be here, but whatever they can fundraise, then they're going to ask us later on here for a donation.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I have no
I don't
problem
know.
with donating, you know.
Yeah, well, that'd be fine.
You know, she gave her life to save
Yeah,
others, so.
Yep.
Whatever, you know,
Yeah, well,
whenever we get a
Yeah, we'll
request.
we'll cover what they can't make.
Yeah,
So, you good with that, Kat?
I am.
Okay, good. All right, Ray McGuitch. All right, next.
Yeah, call me in adjustment, Mr. Chair, please.
All right.
And I'm in favor of the other two for the two young girls, so you know that. But I got to jump off, get this other meeting started.
All right, McGuitch.
We good?
All right, next up, a donation request for the Woburn High School prom. I think that was from Betsy, McDougal, wasn't it?
Yep.
For the elders. Senior prom.
You know, I think that this is fine, because I see there's also a request for Bagley coming up in here too. One of the things that I just want to make everybody aware, because I'm not sure if there was anybody in here who was in that drug task force meeting yesterday, but we talked at length about the tribe's relationships with the public school districts and how we're always fighting against this systemic racism, you know, and the barriers that we have when we try to go to those school systems and try to address these, you know, and how we kind of get turned away, you know. But then whenever they need something, then they're the first ones in line here, you know, to come and get something from the tribe.
I think.
So at the meeting yesterday, you know, we sort of developed a little bit a plan, you know, to go to these school districts and right at the school board level, you know, the highest level, and let them know, you know, hey, this is what we're doing in terms of addressing the opioid epidemic on the reservation. We want the schools as partners with us, and so we want to be working together, you know. And I mean, a big part of, you know, like addiction and historic trauma and things like that is identity. And I mean that when you're a kid and you're in a racist school, like, I mean, we're just trying to like address root issues at an early stage. But we want the districts to partner with us. So I'm just bringing that up just so everybody's aware of the conversation we had at the drug task force meeting as we're looking at these donation requests now from these school districts on the reservation.
So with the donations for the proms, Gary said that you guys can sign this letter and we can give it to him. And the money will be taken out of the donations, which is up to $250.
I say you go through Shooting Stars Youth Fund. I mean, these are all kids, they're excelling, you know, trying to excel in school even, you know, through COVID.
And we can bring these up on Monday.
Yeah, because, but I have no
Monday's
problem
meeting.
donating, but I'd like to know how many Native children, you know, that we'd be, you know, we have here in Woburn. And also, I don't know about this Flandreau one. You know, we need to know how many of our Native children are there, or, you know, I know Woburn has a lot, you know, but, you know, I don't know.
We can probably get more information.
Yeah.
And for Monday's meeting, huh?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I do want to bring your attention to the request from Lorraine Stevens, as this one has a time sensitive. And it does indicate it's to assist with 2 enrolled tribal members right here, and they would need to know before Saturday, because this takes place on Saturday.
They want to check today.
Motion.
It's approved.
Motion by Annie, second by Kathy, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Lori. Yeah, the Wobbin one, we can bring to Monday's meeting. You know, and I know, and the Flanger one, we can, if you guys want to read the Flanger one, which is kind of, you know, they're requesting $800, I think, for their.
Yeah.
But I think that Annie's right, Mr. Chairman, that, you know, that's why you have that youth fund over at Shooting Star, you know?
Yeah, and we can bring it up on Monday's meeting. So we'll put the Wobbin and the Flanger one on Monday's meeting, so. Good. Okay.
So this next one with the MCT data request form, they're just requesting numbers of how many enrolled members. That's in the packet, but they're just requesting only numbers.
That's from
They're not
Audrey
wanting a vote.
Thayer. Len, did you see that one?
Yep.
I know
I see that, it looks like the specific request is for the off reservation total. Yeah, so it's not releasing any individual names or any other data with regard to an individual, but just the request is for the total number of off reservation enrollees.
I know Shannon and her software, what's it called again? Para or, but I think that she can,
Progeny.
she can use the map to get an area of that encompasses that whole Beltrami County, Clearwater County, and also Cass County of getting a good number, in Hubbard County too, of how many tribal,
And it says here in the purpose of her request, since she's on the Bemidji City Council, that she's trying to locate Ojibwe constituents, so. I mean, it seems like a legitimate request and there's no legal issues with it. It's a RBC discretion.
You guys mind or you guys okay? It's just a consent thing, is it, Leonard?
Yeah, I don't think, because it just requires one RBC signature, so.
Okay, you guys are good. Al, you good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, good. We're good with that, so. I think the next thing we have, guys, is the consent agenda, and that's pretty thick, you know, there's all kinds of grants and,
Sure.
yes.
On the agenda, it also says White Earth Hemp.
Yeah, but we don't have a number for him, do we?
Yep, I do have a number for Kevin. We were to call him when,
Because I printed off my email.
You guys want to do that in the executive, or you want to do it? Al, do you want to do it in the executive session? Or you want to do it like right
You
now?
had a specific request for open questions prepared.
So you want to do it now or later, or after a break here?
I would just do it. Oh,
Do it now? Give him a call on your cell phone. Or should we take a break? You guys want to take a break? You want to take a break, Andy?
Yeah.
Let's take a break, guys. We'll take a break while Corey gets his number. Miigwech, I want to say thanks, everyone. We just got to pass the consent agenda, which we will do after our break. And we'll come back and we'll talk to Kevin Short, come back on live again. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Miigwech.